Okay, so one of the other things we need to be really aware of in the cash offer space is identifying real cash buyers versus identifying wholesalers. So let me just give you a definition of what the two are. These are the two main players that are in the cash offer space. Okay, so the vetted cash buyer. This is a real cash buyer. Now it may be an individual, a corporation, a hedge fund, something like that. That they're just looking to build portfolios of properties or fix and flip properties. But when they buy the house, it's essentially coming out of their own money. They have the money to buy your house, and they are buying it themselves, not trying to sell the property or the contract to somebody else, okay? Which is what a wholesaler does. What does a wholesaler do? They're kind of like a middleman, right? They're not the one who's putting the products in the store and standing there and selling it and running the cash registers and, leasing a building. No, they're the one who's in the middle, where they have a contact who has the supply of product, in your case, your house. Then they come along and they go, okay, I'm going to increase that price of that supply and sell it to a retail purchaser, in this case a real vetted cash buyer, or even a individual looking to buy a property. That's kind of what they do. Okay, so they do not ever actually buy your property. Here's where the problem is with that. Number one, they present themselves as if they will. They make you an offer. They say they're going to give you a deposit. They say that they're going to close in X number of days. They're going to give you these terms. And then what they're going to do is they're going to spend the next 30 days or however long it takes to find a buyer to purchase their contract. The only thing that they are doing is selling the contract that they made with you to buy your house. But with special verbiage that's in the contract, they could walk away at any point in time and you don't get a penny. Okay, they know how to write these offers so that it looks good, kind of makes sense. What are those few things in there? Oh, well, and then if they can't find somebody to purchase that contract, then they just walk away. So example, let's say they come to you, your house is worth all fixed up. Again, let's just use $1 million for easy numbers. It's all worth $1 million. That $1 million contract says, we're going to buy your house for, and they're going to do it 60% of ARV, let's say $600,000. Maybe there's not a lot of repairs that need to be done. Just, touch up, fresh paint, and some new carpet. So $600,000. And for some reason you go, okay, that's fine. They're going to turn around, they're going to put it out into the marketplace, and they're going to say, hey guys, here's all the, again, they have a list of cash buyers as well. And they put it in front of all those cash buyers, and they say, here it is. Here's the minimum offer that we're willing to take. And they'll put it out there and they'll say $750, right? 75% of ARV after rehab value. So then it's that cash buyer looks at it, looks at the numbers and goes, oh, yeah, that looks like a good option for us, for our purposes, for our portfolio, whatever it is. We'll buy it for $750,000. So you think, okay, great. Now the house is sold for $750,000. No, you're still selling it to them for $600,000. They're selling it almost immediately to somebody else for $750,000. That $150,000 extra, where does it go? It goes into their pocket, not yours. And this is wholesaling, and this happens all the time. As a matter of fact, there is a huge push out there for all of these people who are promoting courses on how to become a wholesaler, right? And I understand the appeal, because man, if I could sell one house and make $150,000, I would, right? But our process, the way that it works, no, we're not wholesaling. Every bit of profit that is made goes right back into your property, if you want us to help you out and do that. But in any case, what happens with these wholesalers is, it's like Cash buyers, I call them, they're a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? They're going to show up. They're going to be friendly. They're going to be really nice to you. They're going to be your best buddy and pal because they're going to try to get your property as low as possible, because the lower they can get it, the more profit for them, right? That's their business. They are not legally, ethically, or morally required to look out for your best interest at all. They are only required to look out for their best interest. And they'll argue with you, or they'll argue with me and say, well, that's not true. We always give fair offers and stuff. Okay. Maybe there's 1 in 1,000 who does that, but most of them are pretty much going for the jugular and trying to get as much profit as they can. The wholesaler, on the other hand, they use terminology like locking up the property. I mean, this is actual terminology that they use. They come to you, they get you to sign a contract that locks up the property. You can no longer sell it to anyone else. And if you try to, man, they get nasty and aggressive because they're about to lose $150,000, right? So some of the terminology that they'll use in there is they'll say that the contract may be assigned, right? You don't want them to have the ability to assign a contract, because that means they're going to assign the contract. Don't let them do that. Don't let them put that in the contract. It's either, are you buying it or are you not buying it? Because if it's being assigned, that means they're not buying it, right? They'll also put terms in there, things that says, vesting to be determined during escrow. And if it says vesting to be determined during escrow, that's a sneaky way for them to come along and say that that they can assign it to somebody else still. So they're very sneaky. Wholesalers are hard to detect too. If you ask them, "Are you a wholesaler?" they're going to come up with some way to get around. No. We represent a cash buyer. Yes, of course they do, because they're assigning it to a cash buyer in the end. So it's very difficult to do. Anyway, if you want us to help you out with that, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you out and take the risk out of it in that respect, and get it in front of hundreds of cash buyers to give you the profit, not put it in somebody else's pocket just because they end up wholesaling it out to somebody else. Let's move on to the next section.